Hey everybody, this is Arvind Upadhyay. In this video, I'm talking about how to build wealth from the depth. Now, why I choose this topic always, everywhere, mostly because this is I love the way to build the wealth because you don't have need the money to build the wealth, and you just need the bank's money to building the wealth, because this is the easiest way we can get the money and just build the wealth. Now what the most of the billionaires and people, wealthy people do, they just buy the machinery, just they buy the properties with the depth of with the depth of the banks, and the banks pay them with a little money, with a little bit of the interest rate, and they earn the more than that interest rate. So if they are paying the 8% of the interest rate on that loan, they are making the more than 50% from that money, more than 100% on that money. By so what they do, that they borrow the money. For example, a simple example you can understand, that Adani Group, they buy the loans, buy the money, get the money from the banks, and now they reinvest that money into the business of the companies at the Adani Group, and by that money they build the more wealth businesses, and then they rebag that money with a little interest, because they have a good reputation in the industry. So many banks easily give the loans to them, and they easily find the loans and the money with the others. So this is the greatest benefit they are having. And now you can have uh, the depth and use them for building the wealth. Now I am sharing a story with you. The story is like, I having a friend in he was he was much older than me, and he was a government servant. So what he started to buying the properties, and he just having the EMI with that them, and now giving them for the rent. And by this process he built a lot of the properties, and now becoming the wealthiest person, in my belief, in whole town. So the moral of the story is, you don't need to have the lots of the money to creating the wealth. You just need the depth to create the wealth. You can utilize your depth to creating the wealth. And in many in the book of the Robert Kiyosaki, he have told us that utilizing the good depth. Now what poor does, poor use the depth to create buy the liabilities, but rich people use the depth to buy the assets, and now assets create the money for them. And if that asset creating the much more money, and then they can reback that interest with the interest rate. So the thing is that you need to utilize your depth, you need to utilize your money from the depth to create buying the assets, and that asset create the value, and that asset create the more wealth for you. And you can easily utilize your depth. You can easily utilize your depth to create the more wealth for you. Now if you have any LLP, limited liability partner, or any organization company, you have the more access than other to use the depth. As a, you can use the depth for the creating the more wealth. So make sure you understand how this depth can create more wealth for you, and you use that specific depth to creating the more better helpful wealth for you, and generate the passive income for you. Now like my friend was doing, you can have the depth to buying the real estate. And real estate is one of the best profitable, and my suggesting businesses and investment you can do, because real estate pay the best. And you invest there, and after investing, just keep them for rent, or use that for the your purpose, whatever things. So he was does he just bought that house, and then give them for rent $1,000, and now the EMI of that house was like $800. So $200 was he was getting per month. I mean, he was just making money that house for him. So you can use like that to have the EMI, and then paying them and getting the money from that specific house. And after a few years, that's going to be your house, and that going to be your work. So this is the easiest way to creating the wealth. Use your depth to creating the, if you want to understand more, you can connect with me one to one to understand this deep science and this deep money making machine, this deep creating wealth principle. And you can talk to Arvind Upadhyay team. Make sure visit the Arvind Upadhyay official website, join our events, seminars which we are currently running much more than 10 programs we are having. And by Arvind Upadhyay books, listen Arvind Upadhyay so podcast wherever we are available. Thanks for us to thanks for you to listening and watching this video. Make sure you follow